are so excited to have you join us. SEDAT HR Conference is going to be a transformative experience. We'll have various speakers who will be sharing on various topics to ensure that we bridge the gap, creating a workplace where everyone feels heard, valued, and supported. See you at the conference hall.
Hello, good evening to everyone. Welcome to another edition of HR Digest, brought to you by SEDAT Consult Limited. As you heard before, you can contact SEDAT Consult for all your HR solutions, from HR support, advisory and outsourcing, employee engagement, talent acquisition and management, staff outsourcing, compensation and benefit management, and more. We welcome you once again to HR Digest. Well, today our discussion is on the future of work, HR tech innovations that is shaping 2025 and beyond. My name is Marcelina Anson, and I'll be your host for today. As HR professionals, leaders, and innovators, we are standing at the intersection of people and technology, where AI, automation, data, and empathy converge to shape the future of work. Today, we would like to explore the trends and tools and transformations that are not just changing how we work, but why and where we work. And to help us do this discussion is an expert in the person of Mr. Paul Opoku Nkrumah. He's an experienced HR and business systems consultant with over 15 years of expertise in HR management, payroll, administration, ERP, HIRS implementation, and organizational strategy. Mr. Nkrumah is passionate about optimizing business processes, driving transformation, and enhancing employee engagement. He currently leads Nexit Consult, a firm he founded in 2020 that supports organizations in sectors like NGOs, manufacturing, logistics, research, construction, and consulting to streamline operations, implementation of ERP, HIRS systems, and manage payroll with accuracy and compliance. I would also like to welcome our online interesting topic as usual. Therefore, I ask that you get ready. What the heck?
We are so excited to have you join us at the Takoradi Westin Serene Atlantic Hotel, where this year's edition of the SEDAT HR Conference is being held. It's going to be a transformative experience. We'll have various speakers who will be sharing on various topics to ensure that we bridge the gap from policy to practice and creating a workplace where everyone feels heard, valued, and supported. See you at the conference hall.
So today we had a really interesting session. It started with me giving a keynote address on well-being and making a strong case for well-being as a requirement to create a workplace that's empathetic, that's supportive, that allows for employees to truly give up their best every single day they come to work.
And it says that for every $1 spent on mental health, companies see a $2 to $4 return in improved productivity and reduced absenteeism.
I did also present the financial benefits of taking employee well-being seriously.
I'm Felicia Opoku-Foliche, Head of HR and Admin.
Welcome back once again to HR Digest. We apologize for the break that we had. And before we go on, we would like to talk to you a little about our conference, SEDAT conference taking place in Kumasi. We are excited about it. It's coming on the 30th of October. And I believe it's one of the exciting, SEDAT conference is always an exciting event. So if you've not registered, this is an encouragement for you to register and join us either online or in person. So as I said earlier, our discussion for today is on the future of work and HR tech innovations shaping 2025 and beyond. And to do the discussion with us is Mr. Paul Nkrumah. He's online, and I would like to introduce him to all of you. Hello, Mr. Nkrumah.
Hi, Madam Miss Lena.
Hi.
I hope you
Good
can
evening.
hear me. Good
Yes,
evening.
I can hear you clearly.
Nice.
Welcome.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go on. I hope you are ready.
I'm good. We can move.
All right. So I would like to pick your opinion. So what do you think is one of the biggest trends of HR tech this year in 2025?
All right. Mostly when you look around, what is happening around us that everyone will talk about, or the main subject is about the AI bit of it. That is a game changer happening around every environment of work, which HR is not exclusive. And then we're also looking at a cloud solution that makes it possible for everyone to connect from any location to work. That's another game-changing solution I can just mention about for now.
Okay. And we've heard a lot about AI this year, from coming up to this year. How is AI changing the way we recruit, onboard, and manage talent?
All right. So initially, we used to have systems that just enable us to manage stages of recruitment. One
Okay.
example is like when someone apply, so new stage, it moves to shortlisting, it moves to maybe whether review, first interview, second interview, if there's any assessment and all that. But now, another technology also erupted along the way that was only focusing on what do you have, what are we looking at? That's a ATS, application tracking system. What it was helping us do is just like skip the first stage whereby you are now going to manually do some form of screening, but it will just make sure that it will pick just what you are looking for and move it to the next stage, whether rejected or qualified. Then another evolution came. You say, okay, the same people you are rejecting, one day you may need them because they may also have specific skill that will be needed in the near future. So what do we do? Here it comes AI. AI comes in a way that it will not just focus on what you are looking for and the qualification the person have, whether it fits for the current need or not. It's looking at the futuristic way of managing things. How does it do that? It looks around like a search through your CV, look through your qualification, skills, and everything, and now place you in the pipeline somewhere that maybe you will not just be needed now, but we are not throwing you away. This just example. There are a lot of I think in the recruitment part, this is one of the evolution that has set in. But onboarding too, you can also schedule some kind of onboarding using like integrated system that you can automate that will really schedule people, prompt people, engage, and you can even use AI to handle that by the kind of prompt you give and the kind of answers expected, and make sure that the aspect of the management or people that's aside of work can be reduced in a way that you can go about doing other things. How about talent? It's able to scan through and make sure that, yes, just like I mentioned about the talent pool, it will not throw you away. It will put you awaiting for a future opportunity. So these are just a few that I can mention in this space. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And
Yeah,
we've
well,
also heard a lot about analytics.
yes.
I think we've come to the place of predictive analytics.
Yeah.
When it comes in terms of workforce planning and retention, what role does it play? Predictive analytics.
Okay, so basically, when you have a solution that you have been able to provide specific skills and need for every role, people are also allowed to, before I'll get to the answer of how it's about the inputs will define the output. So I will
Okay.
not be from the output aspect, which is the reporting and analytics side. But how do we influence that? Good systems, as you mentioned, which system is really recommended or required for such kind of enhancing HR work and all that. So it should be a place that we have a placeholder for all your jobs, all the job specifications, skills, and anything. So as part of your appraiser and more and all that, as you move on, you also give the employee opportunity to check on their ratings in terms of the skills they are developing and how they are growing with it. Without it, you won't be able to track it. So based on all these skills, it tells you who are ready for either future role or current role, or for any leadership role, or for any other form of succession you can earmark the person to. So predictive analysis come in place. You just look through all these inputs that you have provided and then ensure that it can match these required skills for current or future needs. As you don't spend too much to go and hire people. Meanwhile, you may have them, but if you are able to manage them through, you can harness from such kind of resources with less cost.
Okay. So, and recently too, employee well-being and mental health has also been another issue in the HR space. And how are organizations using technology to improve this or
All right.
manage it?
All right. So when it comes to that space, normally what brings about frustration at work, what brings about any kind of inconvenience at work, usually sometimes it comes through the way we manage our people. How do I mean, or what do I mean about that one, or what am I really addressing? It's just about clarity of giving to people. It also talks about flexibility of how you can manage your people. It also giving you opportunities to also how are you also managing them in terms of understanding certain core need to provide some kind of flexibility. But how can this work? I will not blame the older people who did not have such infrastructure in place. What I would say that in our age currently, if it's about document, it can be fully managed in the database without a stress. If it's about signature, someone to sign something, there can be a workflow for someone to just sign from anywhere. If it's about work and collaborating with other team members, we have a lot of collaborating teams in the systems that everybody from anywhere can be managed. You can also track people's engagement through assessment. So there can be some form of online based assessment that you really get to see who is going through a certain situation or what are they engaging in, their kind of load at work. So if you have all these tools, for example, giving them some form of let's say ticketing system, for example, where if you have a certain grievance and they know that they are protected, all these tools are there to be able to manage. They know that their privacy and trust is guaranteed. They will be able to, handle it. Then if you have all this application that will enable them to work from any location, you can even give flexibility to manage any form of stress, and that will help a lot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I also want to talk about innovations that are helping inclusive and psychologically safe workplaces when in terms of HR, the tech side.
Yeah. So I think I mentioned some of them. You can also have something like a database that ensures that people's security and background are protected. For example, I may be a male, but I'm not physically. But in your database, there's let's say information holder that says that, hey, Kwame is a he or Akosia is a he. Even if I'm not really, it's like I know who I am, and I think people don't know or whatever it is. How do the system help HR people to protect such kind of information? If there is any form of, let's say, excuse duty that comes, and then it may even mention some form of, issues or privacy issue on health or whatever it is. How do you protect me with the information system that you have to hold such information? I know that data protection allows certain form of information employer could have, but at the same time, there may be certain way of engaging by a way of having some form of electronic form or service, or a way that maybe you can manage some form of whistleblowing or any other thing in such a way that their information is not disclosed. So if all these applications are there, and then we also open up to engage remotely or any other, it will help a lot. With all this one, technology will help, just like the way we are engaging. If such a system is in place, and then I have a problem to discuss, irrespective of my location, I will be able to engage in this way. So these are some of the ways that it can help us to manage our people.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about supporting hybrid and remote work models while we maintain? Sometimes when we go into the remote, the culture of the work surface. So how can we use HR tech to support hybrid and remote work so that while maintaining the culture of the organization, so that we don't lose it?
Okay. There are a lot of collaborative tools in good HR systems. Some of them is like a chat systems, where like a chatbot, you can actually, once you connect as an employee, almost everyone is available. So the issue of we coming together is be able to collaborate and ensure that we can have everyone input. By the same way, if we have such email tools is one example where you can share file, you can share communication. Then we have video conferencing system, which can also have any random meeting at the same time, face to face, but virtual, and then engage. For example, there may be certain things that has to be demonstrated, by which the eye will carry the power, or the eye power tool will be able to resolve that. If you have a video conferencing tool, you should be able to work and demonstrate on what you are doing. If there are chats and call systems within your HR application, it's easy for you to just ensure that you can get anybody, irrespective whether you're using a phone, you're using computer or not. Document circulation and management. You can have electronic document, which is actually can be managed in such a way that you can say that one will have a view of it, one can be a collaborator and an editor, and one will not have at all. All these, process or workflow can be managed by a good software that can ensure like a good collaborative work for remote work and more. Then there is another aspect of current systems. We are talking about trends. Let me bring that one in. When it gives a flexibility for you to actually mention that, okay, if this person is working from home and then the status once it's changed from home, there should be an icon that will indicate that this person is home. If it's at office, this person should show as office. If it's traveling, maybe you can have some icon like a plane showing that this person is leave or travel. So all these are the tools that gives you clarity of how your people are engaged, where are they, what are they doing, and what they are about. So that is another thing.
Okay.
I think
So, go further with this question. You know that
yes,
sometimes when you're at work, we organize fun times and those things. Please, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
So, can HR help with those things? The fun times, small parties, get together. How can HR tech help
Of
that one?
course, definitely. There can be an amazing one. For example, let's say HR walks in the morning and let's say, hey, there is an engagement plan for maybe birthday, or maybe a point where you are sharing something. Sometimes you can have a food or drink or something across board. Then anybody come online, wherever you are, whatever you are wearing. Excuse me for that, not really so, but no, I don't mean that, just for the fun of it. Yeah. Whatever you have, is it an empty cup? Cheers. You can do something together. You can celebrate someone who is even having a birthday without the person necessarily coming to the office. So these are what the virtual systems enable us to do. So it's all about the planning and your content, what you want to do, and ensure that people participate. But the systems can support that. Once the voice is there, once video is showing, you are good to go. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
And what can you say are the most effective tech tools for upskilling and reskilling of employees?
So number one is about, I'll put it from the recruitment portal point of view, because that's where we define all the parameters of job. So if there is a good system that will be recommended, the system should be able to have, a placeholder or fields to contain all the necessary job specification, qualifications, skills, what have you, and all that, and then also make provision for growth. The system or whichever recommended training systems that can enable like talent improvement or such kind of thing will be performance management tools. So, and also a system that can also enhance planning and tax management. In this way, when you assign a tax, it is also monitored by when you are done, your mark as done or checked or not, which tax was given to who, is it a major tax or sub-tax? How is it feeding? If you have a tool that gives you all this flexibility and gives you the reporting views to see what is really happening, I believe that anybody will have something to say, or you yourself will have something to say that indeed these people are engaged, these people are there or not. You can also do this by a way of completion of tax. So you can set up a tax and provide a specific time frame and look at the quality of work. If the person is up there, you'll see the output. So all these are the tools and more that you can do. So for example, these AI tools, for example, you may not need to be a pro in certain area to get some basic information for what you have to do, which we need to all learn about how we go about it. Is it about a write-up for something? Is it maybe a query that you cannot write? Is it about a new skill? Is it your own valuation that you want to do? There are tools that are there in AI space that can enable you to even do your own self-appraisal, self-check, self-evaluation, and know where you are. The same way, if you have information, data, and you are able to use it effectively in a way, all these things will tell you that who is there, who is next, who can we depend on, who is ready for what, and that can foster growth and improvement among employees.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
What challenges do HR teams face in managing distributed teams, and how can HR tech help them?
Yes, so normally about the knowledge of the people. So for example, you want to put technical team members maybe into IT to perform a certain task. There are various backgrounds that everybody may have. Because they are IT, it may not necessarily have to be that they all know coding, or they all know anything about telecommunication, or they all know anything about networking, or they all know anything about maybe cyber security or any other form of discipline in IT. So I think a lack of the knowledge they have on the hand, you may have things in the file, but we call them archives or archival materials or documents. They are not live documents that you can actually tap into at a point you need it. So if, let's say, a boss walks to your office currently and says, I get me people who have this number of background, and put them together for maybe a training or for specific tasks within the next hour, I'm sure that if you don't have in this system, you find yourself wanting, especially in large organizations. So these are the challenges because we don't have the readily reports or information at hand. We depend on files. By the time you open 10 files, the whole day is almost gone. So these kind of tools enable us to have every information handy. The keyword is handy, and that fosters speed of work and delivery. In that same way, when talking about team, you should be able to place specific team to perform specific tasks because the knowledge you have about them is unambiguous. And that's how system can make life flexible. Yep.
Okay, so I want to talk about ethical use and data privacy or protection. We are using AI a lot. So what's the ethics looking like that involved AI usage? So that we don't go overboard and privacy.
Yes. So I think every company must actually take it at heart to ensure people are trained on more or less HR prompt or how you'll be able to query for information in the system. I think there was some time back that a child, I think, either murdered himself or so by consulting AI over certain depression issues and ended up the life of that person. So why am I saying this or bringing this one here? The knowledge of you to use the tool will depend on the results that you will get. So there are certain formats or specific way that we ask or seek for information from AI that will enable us to get the feedback we are looking for. But if you talk about our security in terms of data protection and all privacy issues, I think for now, I can say that now that even your phone informations are all in the cloud, nobody have anything that you can say that it is solely private. But then the way you manage the information is a key. So that's one thing I can say, that we have to really use tools in a way that if you don't know, we have to learn. But if we know how to, we have to be mindful about. Have I lost you? Hello?
I'm on.
So I think it's all about the knowledge is more precedent when we are looking at privacy. So that is how small I can describe this.
Okay, so for now, is there any government policy or framework on the usage of responsible use of AI or HR tech adoption?
So the tech adoption, there are a lot of guidelines from our data protection, but when it comes to the AI space, personally, I haven't seen much about that with enforcement. But then we can also look at how we can, when you just don't have to load anything when you don't have the approval to do that. So let's say you're loading a very confidential information. Is it your product knowledge or something? Because you know that, as many people give it as example, a product like Coca-Cola, as it is what it is because there is something nobody knows. In this case, when you put something in AI, the same way that you can, query for something and you have it, it will be out there. So we have to be very careful about what we put in, or rather give people access to what you have. But if it's information that's going to help everybody, then you are allowed to. So let's be mindful of what we attach. That's the most important thing I can say as a control.
But individual organizations can create their own policies, right? Framework.
Yeah. You can have that, and that will be guided. And as well, if you have, let's say, a company can even come up with their own, AI that will, be fed with the entire company information for internal usage, and they'll be able to ensure that external linkages are limited in terms of what people can access outside the domain. So this is another way people can take advantage for the large, good for a company. Yeah.
Okay, so Paul, let's take it like somebody who's new in HR and fresh, and he wants to add AI or HR tech to the work he does. Where does the person start from? He that has zero knowledge of it.
Yeah.
How does he start? Where does he start from? What are some of the things he can use to help him or herself?
Right. I think the most important thing when it comes to which system to use is mainly about a system that is open to adapt all your company workflow and requirements, and even gives you more advantage. But how can someone jump in and use it? Normally, you need an expert to handhold you a bit for you to start, because every system interface may be different. Their information where you can capture them is not straightforward, but it's easy. So for every start, you need an expert within the space to be able to help you to capture the required information and be able to handle workflow in terms of approval level, in terms of, let's say, other confidential information, what to hide from where, and then you can now be able to boldly use them. So you can start by learning from experts. That is the way I can put it, and that's the safer way to go about it.
Okay, there's a question here. Let me read for you.
Hey,
100,
please.
100 employee company, one
Mhm.
HR manager with HIRS software versus 100 employee company, one HR manager with one HR assistant. Which will you prefer and why?
So 100 each. Either you have one manager or one HR officer or
Yeah,
whatever.
you have one HR manager with the software,
Mm-hmm.
and
100
yes,
employees.
yes.
Uh-huh.
Then the second, yes. So which one versus 100 employee, one HR manager and one assistant?
Oh.
Should I go over? Let me go over again.
Go
100
ahead.
employee, 100 employee company,
Mm-hmm.
one HR manager with
Mm-hmm.
HIRS software
Mm-hmm.
versus 100 employees with one manager and one assistant manager. Which one do you prefer?
What the person they didn't finish with the second one is without HR systems.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'll go for the first one. Have about one system for 100 people is an ideal way to start with. So I'll go for the first one.
You go for the first one. Uh-huh. So- all right. So can you give us some of the like HR techs we can have for talent acquisition, employee experience, learning and development, people analytics, wellness, and mental health? Can you name a few of these the techs that are used for this
Okay,
hybrid and
so
work enablement?
yeah, I think okay. So in universally, we have about three parameters of system hosting. That's where I'll take it from. One of them is the online version. Then we have on-prem system. Then we have more like the standalone. Now, the difference between the on-prem and the other one can be just a computer of the HR. Or no one or what software, no, the computer so
Mhm.
or the core is another thing. Then we have a system which is like is on the global company own on the premise where everyone can access is secured within the environment. Then we have the cloud solution, which is more or less global outside and within the organization will be able to connect. So if I take it from that side, I will first of all say that any solution that is hosted on the cloud is more preferred and is more advantageous. The reason is that when there is a need for an upgrade, you enjoy without a stress. But if you go for the on-prem, you will need to spend more to upgrade or even the in-person one. But then if I have to mention so let me also clarify this. You mentioned about the name of technologies that I can recommend or the offering of the technologies. If you can be
Oh,
clear, the
some
offering.
names. Yes.
Okay, so you can use the bamboos, you can use the Microsofts, you can use the Oracles, you can use the Clay, you can use any other. But I will recommend Odoo ERP for you. Why would I say that? It gives the flexibility which I have not seen in many of these solutions. For example, once anybody logs into Odoo, as example, you first of all, you get access to a communicator. One of them is voice over IP. You spend less on calls and internet and what have you. Like if you're once on the net, you spend less on maybe normal call charges because the internet provides a systemic provision for using the same internet resources to give you emailing, give you calls, to give you collaborative tools like a chatbot or AIs that you can work within without even purchasing. It also gives you access to more or less video conferencing and all that. That's which I mentioned earlier as a tool that can enable you to manage all your, collaboration and teamwork. It also provides on the go a document management platform fully with many folders. So HR can have their folder, finance can have their folders, and many more. You can also send an offer through the system straight away for someone to just sign. So signature app, anything that you have to complete. So if you talk about even onboarding, there is planning, there is also to-do list. So you say, I want to create a task. The task is about onboarding. Now, first day, you are going to meet X person. The person allow you to put that person in place and the timelines that they are supposed to get it done, and all the varied activities. It has, for example, performance management related, where you have the flexibility to provide your own personal details and make sure, and many, many, many more. So these are the modern tools that enable us. Maybe you want to have your own chatbot in that you can even put, for example, your document like policy and say that, okay, if anybody employee chats me and asks me about this way of going about this or that, based on the information provided, the chatbot is programmed to be able to give the response, and that gives the HR a bit of relief of everyday call. Hey, I want to know about this. I want to know about this. Yes. Or even, for example, facilitate your other things like health, for example. If you have, let's say, in life insurance or whatever it is, or health insurance, what have you, and then you want to know exactly where anybody can access, you can have it done. So flexibility of providing leave balances and everything, they are all there, which also is a great one that it can give. So for example, one other wonderful tool for recruitment, if you want to recruit somebody, and then you say that, okay, the person, you want to give some kind of impression to the applicant, you can also put some kind of, let's say, engagement photos to just entice the employee and say that, yes, when you come here, these are the things that you should be expecting. And these are a way of attracting talent and drive their interest to apply for jobs. So there are many, many, many more that I can mention that enables flexibility within the workspace in HR using Odoo as I have recommended. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can you say that all these tools, small companies can, is it affordable?
They are not always affordable. So another way of going about this one is when you look at the pricing, is one of the most affordable solutions that gives you almost every solution without, adding additional cost. It's a bundle, a platform, but they are quite expensive. I'm not sure you get any license per employee less than even $10 a month for the Microsoft, the Oracles, and all the big, as I've mentioned. But within Odoo, there are other platforms that can enable you to do that. Yes.
Okay. I have one last question. Sorry to.
Ma'am.
How is the shift to skill-based hiring changing HR strategies?
How do
the shift to skill-based hiring?
Oh, okay. So I think I initially mentioned some of these things. But is it your employees or your company will be, what is it, based on how you get people in or who you get into your job space? So we are also moving from the core skill base to more like attitudinal way of managing people. How do you identify that? There are certain form of data set or survey that occasionally we can perform. It can enable you to get people to see people's temperament. It can enable you to see people's, let's say, certain skill base based on how they go about all these answers. So these are what technology drives. On a normal circumstance, you cannot talk to somebody and just judge that this is what about the person. But if you have a technology system that enables you to put in a certain system or survey or assessment that can come up with all these, then you know exactly where or who is a promising candidate and who is not. You can at a point, you can even predict who can be easily exited, like at what point in time. And you can tell which employee is stable. All these are kind of metrics that you can provide for a good system that you can have them. So that is what I can say, if that answers what. If not, you can better.
Well, We are almost ending. So I would like you to maybe summarize everything that you've said for us so that we have I think it's a lot that we need
Yeah.
to go through and
Yes.
get the nuggets out. So if you
Yes.
can summarize everything for us.
All right. So technology has come to stay. AI is with us. Let us begin to love and learn and then adapt them. The adaptability is assurance for our speed and accuracy. And that brings about collaboration and also brings about some form of satisfaction within our workspace. It also takes away that huge fatigue someone may have to go through to be able to achieve specific tasks. You have anything, handy. If you are able to put in good data, your results can be assured quality and you will not miss it. So we need to adapt technology systems in our workspace. That is what I would say. And some of us, we are there to help you in any way that you think you need us. Whether you want to acquire a new system, we can help you. If you also acquired a solution that you want us to really help you to enhance the usability, we also help you so that you can attain the full, let's say, benefit of it. So that's how I'll put it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Well, all
Yes.
too soon, we've come to the end of today's discussion, which was on the future of work, HR tech innovations shaping 2025 and beyond. HR Digest is brought to you by SEDAT Consult. You can contact SEDAT Consult for all your HR needs. We also want to talk to you about the SEDAT conference coming on the 30th of October in Kumasi. We encourage you to register. As I said before, SEDAT conferences are always insightful, fun. You learn a lot. So especially for those of us in Kumasi, I urge you that you don't want to miss this. So contact SEDAT. You can join them as online or in person. So thank you very much for joining us today. As you heard before, we talked about HR tech innovations. Paul talked about technology acquisitions using tech. He talked about employee experience platforms, which he gave some of the names. He talked about AI in learning and development, teamwork, and so forth. I think this is a lot, and we need to go through the discussion again so that you can pick those ones that you need one by one, because you can't take all, we can't digest all at once. So we thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you. And we say have a great week. God bless you. Bye.
Well-being into HR practice.
And it's really helped because as line managers, we see our employees a lot, what they go through on a daily basis. There should be, just as you have like first aid, if someone gets a cut or a bruise in the workplace, if you have a mental health first aider or you're a supervisor, you are a trained mental health first aider, you can learn to recognize some of the signs and symptoms of mental health issues that is going on with your employees and appropriately intervene.
I think we've done the talk for a very long time. It's time to move into action and, incorporate a lot of well-being activities into our workplace. Oftentimes, it's very difficult to convince leadership, but we need to move beyond thinking about the cost and think of the benefits that having well-being in the workplace will do for the organization. So thank you very much.
So my name is Kwame. I work with Talo Oil. Today has been an exciting day for me. We've been treating a very important topic to me, employee well-being.
Health, productivity, and economic growth.
They have spoken a lot about, the importance of doing it, the benefit to the organization. And in fact, well-being is not just the right thing to do. It's a smart business decision. And employee organizations who focus on the employee well-being outperform others who do not. And there were a lot of examples that I show. Now, hopefully for some of you who were not able to join us today, can go to the SEDAT social media pages to access some of the snippets of the conversation. It's an ongoing conversation, and as HR leaders, we need to take on this charge, challenge the status quo within organization, and push the cause forward. Thank you very much.
I see this opportunity to learn, grow, and network, and also shape the future of human resource management in Ghana. Once again, welcome, and thank you for coming. I wish you all the best.
Hello, my name is Patricia Abnakisi, the CEO of SEDAT Consult, organizers of the SEDAT HR Conference 2025 in Takoradi. I'd like to especially thank all participants for making it to the conference. You made the investment of time, you made the investment of money, and you made this conference a success. We are grateful to you. Many thanks to our speakers, our keynote speaker, and all the speakers. We appreciate you for coming, for sharing your experiences and your strategies with the participants. To our sponsors, thank you so much. Without you, we couldn't have done this. Thank you, Apex Health. Thank you, KK Insurance Brokers. Thank you, all our partners, the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you, Okante Studios. Thank you very much, Rivia. Thank you, My Help Corp. Thank you, SHRM. Thank you, SHRP. Thank you, HR Network Africa. Thank you, all our media partners. We are grateful for coming on board. I invite everyone. This is going to be an annual conference. So we'll come again next year to Takoradi, the Oil City, and we expect many more people to jump on the board and be part of this conference. Thank you, and God bless you.
I think this has been a useful session, and I encourage all of you to look out for the next SEDAT HR conference, and please do attend because you learned quite a lot. I've been quite motivated by some of the attendants and some of the things they've told me, the length to which people have gone to be able to be here today. I truly appreciate that, and I hope that next one you will be as well. Thank you.
I'm confused.
I'm Kofi Annan from Good News FM.
Okay, ma'am, this program has been very insightful and very educative, I must say. I wasn't really expecting this. I knew I was going to learn a lot, but not to this extent. And I believe that we all have also learned one thing or the other.
My name is Evinedo Mante. I'm from Focus One Group. I came to SEDAT Conference 2025, and my experience so far is I've loved all the presentations, the presentations that were given by the facilitators. They spoke about how we are going to implement HR practice in our workplace, and I think it's a good thing when someone is well treated in your workplace, but the person is going to also work for the company to enjoy.
This program has indeed opened my eyes on various aspects in the HR practices. For instance, I've learned that a happy employee improves productivity. So with this program, it will help us to at least improve on our performance and also increase productivity, so that at least the organization will benefit, we the employees will also benefit, and it will also help us to at least know our left from the right when it comes to employee well-being and then how employees are treated in the organization. So,
Hi, you are looking so good.
thank you very much.
I would like you to briefly introduce yourself to us.
Okay, I'm Rahman Badir from Raleigh Enterprise.
Share with me what has been your highlight so far in this conference. SEDAT Conference 2025.
Oh, okay. This conference, I've actually learned a lot, you understand. I've learned a lot about employees' well-being, you understand. So the employees' well-being actually contributes to a high productivity. And I also learned that HR isn't just one person. HR is everyone, because the well-being of a company, although it's the HR's major thing to put into consideration, but everyone can also be an HR in a company, and that's what I've actually learned here.
Hello. Hi, you're looking so good. Thank you. I'd like you to briefly introduce yourself to us, spark us with your beautiful outfit.
Okay, so my name is Vivian Salasi Opokunyano. I'm with missions across the West. and we are into crusades across the western parts of Ghana. And when I heard about the conference, I thought it was a good place to come and learn some knowledge about HR and law here.
And I hope your expectation has been met.
Beyond my expectation. For me, so right from the entrance to the whole thing, I felt very, excited about it. I feel the event has been well organized. The speakers too are on point. And for me, the highlight was when they said that we need to prioritize employee well-being over profit.
Yeah. This this HR conference right here in the Western Serene Atlantic Hotel. It is not costly to have empathy, and for that matter, there's more on investment when we care for our employees. Together, we should be on this call. Next year, we will meet again. Until then, SEDAT Consult has been with us throughout this period. Thank you very much for being part of this project.
Wow, the SEDAT HR Conference 2025 was indeed a transformative and insightful experience. Our speakers highlighted on valuable topics, and we are so certain that all our participants have been equipped to integrate employee well-being into the very fabric of their organizations. Thank you, our dear sponsors, KEK, Apex Health. And I also want to thank our partners, Revia, My Health Corp, Okante Studios, Voltic, all our partners for making this possible. Follow us on all our social media platforms to stay connected and have insights from this conference. My name is Supernatural Intem. See you at the SEDAT HR Conference 2026.